Are there Harvard students here, by any chance? Oh, for Christ's sakes. There's one right there. You don't know who that guy is? No, it's probably not required. You can probably get a degree without having any idea who that guy is. What are you studying?
Women's studies.
Women's studies? So, are you getting credit right now? I am, by all accounts, a woman, and, in a way, just sitting, listening would be studying. Let me ask you this. Did you have classes today? One? Well, when you're studying women, you have to pace yourself. A lot of... I think even Senator Packwood could tell you that. There's a pacing. You don't rush in. I'll be honest with you. I hate women. There, it's been said. I think we're stupid and boneheaded. I'm sick of women. I've had it with them. In 1992, we get a couple of women into the Senate, and they're all yipping around at their acceptance speeches saying, "The year of the woman, the year of the woman." What fat white guy came up with that phrase? The year of the woman. You realize it's over with now. We gals had our year. We're so exhausted. We're giving it back to you fellas. It sure was a fun year, though, wasn't it? Okay. You guys, we got 6 women in the Senate. And that was considered the year of the woman. 6 women in the Senate. We are 52% of the population. Apparently women do suck at math. One time my brother picked me up by my neck, and I told my dad, because it hurt, and so I complained. I said, Jimmy picked me up by the neck, and he said, "Well, did you do anything that would cause him to pick you up by the neck?" Well, what behavior exactly would fall into that category? Yeah, I stood in a hole with just my head coming out. I see now. I had the opportunity, I believe that this issue is on its way to the Supreme Court, actually, the thing going on in Colorado with the Amendment 2, which was to prevent cities from including in their charters protections of civil rights for people based on their sexual orientation. And there was a group called Colorado for Family Values who spearheaded that amendment, and now the argument about it's going to the Supreme Court. I had occasion to meet Will Perkins, who's the head of Colorado for Family Values. He owns Perkins Chevrolet in Colorado Springs. And I went and I interviewed him for Mother Jones Magazine, and he said to me that he doesn't like to be called a homophobe, by the way, that he does not discriminate, he said. In fact, he felt that he could relate to homosexuals, he said, because he's a car salesman. And he said, people make fun of our pants and our white shoes. And I thought, yes, that is so similar, really. That must be hell for you. He went on to tell me that until the 10th grade, he didn't like girls, he said. He found that often they were smarter than him in school, and he was intimidated by them. He didn't think that they were interested in sports, and so he didn't know what to say to them. He just didn't like girls until about the 10th grade, he thought. And that if prior to that, a homosexual teacher or counselor had talked to him, they could have talked him in to coming over to their side. Now, I don't pretend to know the psychological or physiological reasons for anybody's sexuality one way or the other, but I had no idea that it might even possibly be based on a giant game of Red Rover, Red Rover. I don't even know, though, how anybody can stay informed anymore. You know what I mean? It's so hard, really, to access real information. And now, I don't know if you knew this, but censorship is on the rise in our country, in our libraries, in our public schools. One of the most frequent complaints is about sex education books. They think that they're too sexually explicit, which always makes me laugh. I think if you're going to teach sex education, it should be fairly sexually explicit. the books in particular. Otherwise, what do you got? Like a book of hints. How nice. You wouldn't do anything else. You know, what do they want? Like a picture of a totally dressed man and a totally dressed woman with a caption that goes, and then they... You know. You wouldn't teach any other course that way. You wouldn't teach history and just say, you know, in 1776, something happened. If you're a real American, you'll know what it was.